You are now tuned in to 710 Radio. We are the newest and hottest independent radio station in Colorado and on the internet. The fans named the station. With over 1 million visitors and over 10 million hits. Oh yeah, our website is going bananas. We are the newest and the hottest. This is 710 Radio. 24/7 radio. Stay tuned and tell a friend. The Dabber's Choice. With hot shows 7 days a week.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom,
The following program is intended to educate and inform. We discuss cannabis being used as medicine, the culture, science, and controversy of cannabis and cannabis laws. We do not advocate any illegal activity. Moth Networks and their associates do not claim to be lawyers or doctors, nor do they represent themselves as such. All their comments and views are of their own personal opinion and personal experiences. Opinions and claims made by the guests and advertisers on Moth Networks are their own, and all parties agree to the Moth Network use and policy agreement. Moth Network and Moth Network associates cannot be held legally responsible for the statements of the host or of their guests. We encourage all listeners to learn their constitution, to assert their rights, acknowledge their duties, and know their individual state laws.
Hi, welcome for joining us today on Kingdom of Healing. This is our first show on iHeartRadio, and I just want to make all the listeners aware that on Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com, if you go to that website, you can go up into the search bar and just type in Kingdom of Healing and pick up a lot of the past shows that are archived there, and that covers a lot of information. And one of the first shows was all on pH balancing, on alkaline acid conditions of the body. And there are just a lot of different shows that have a lot of information that may help you and your loved ones to overcome some of the health challenges that you're dealing with. I'm a traditional naturopath and nationally certified, and I've been in the field of alternative healing for 37 years. So I am excited to be on iHeartRadio and be able to share my knowledge and things that I have dealt with over the years successfully to help bring people back to wellness. And so today I want to kind of talk about coconut oil and palm oil and essential oils and more herbs as well. You know, tomorrow Thanksgiving Eve, and Thursday everybody's going to be sitting down to the big old feast and having a degree of nutrition and being in an alternative healing. It's like, you know, you see all of these recipes and stuff that people post on Facebook, and of course they're in the magazines, and you think of a lot of the old traditional meals and stuff, and I'm one of those ones that, you know, don't feed your family Cool Whip, spend the extra money and buy real whipping cream and
right.
whip
it tastes so
up.
much better anyways.
It really does. And you know, the other thing is Jell-O. I don't feed my family Jell-O. I don't serve people Jell-O. You know, take a look at the box. It's artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, and your average person, if you don't have an alkaline water machine, you know, you're filling that up with the chlorinated ammonia fluoride water that comes out of your municipal tap in your home. And then you add to that dead white sugar, and you call that food. Then you throw a bunch of canned fruit and stuff in it, which is pretty high as far as the acid levels go on that. So it's really not a healthy dish to be feeding your family. Not at all. And hopefully the turkeys that you've selected that you're going to be putting on the table to feed your family are naturally raised and antibiotic and hormone free. Because what's important to know is that more than 50% of the antibiotics that are put into grains, the GMO grains. And with the GMO, there's been so many lab studies, mostly done in other countries, because the United States is A-OK with GMO,
right?
Considering that Mexico banned it and Canada banned it, and
if I'm not mistaken, 12 other countries have banned it as well, and I might be going on the low number. It might be 18, but I'm thinking 12 for some reason.
Well, and the problem is that I don't know. I have a problem with eating grain that has the gene of a frog in it,
right?
Or how about the gene of fish? That's not the way nature intended it to be, and it's all about shelf life and things lasting longer. The problem is that it interrupts the RNA and the DNA of that original grain, and it alters it. And then when we consume it, it starts interfering with our genetic coding as well. So some of the studies that I've seen that are that have been conducted in laboratories, and unfortunately, they use a lot of mice.
Right.
And the mice that were put on a diet of GMO grains, within 10 days of a litter of mice, baby mice, 10 days on GMO grains only, and the ones that were fed original seed grains, those lab animals were healthy and grew normally, but when these little litters of the mice were born and fed nothing but GMO, their bodies within 10 days, some of them died. And the other ones that lived a little bit longer, grew just incredible tumors all over their bodies.
Yeah, I've seen that pic, and it's actually a disgusting pic.
It's really very scary. It's very scary what's being done with the food supply. And as we get into the holidays, it's kind of funny how take a look at all of the foods that are consumed from around starting the kickoff with Halloween, with all the trick-or-treating and all the candy, and then people start getting ready for Thanksgiving, and everybody's making different kinds of desserts and foods and cakes and breads and things, and by the time we get through Christmas, what is everyone's number one thing the beginning of the year?
Lose weight.
Yeah, is they all want to lose weight. They all feel so terrible. So if you really kind of take it from all of November and all of December, you take 2 months out of the year where your consumption is just over the top of things that you don't normally eat throughout the rest of the year. That you have 2 months of eating a lot of different foods during that time of year, and hey, you're done with it in 60 days, and everybody's resolution is, they want to lose weight because they've not only gained weight, but they feel terrible.
Sure.
Their body, they're just sluggish, they're tired, they're bloated, they have no energy, they have brain fog, they don't feel good, so it's like it's time for a cleanse. But one of the things I really wanted to make people aware of, and it's funny because, in the 60s when I was a child and growing up, late 50s and the 60s, coconut oil was in a lot of things, and then they started removing it, saying how that it wasn't good for you at all. So, they replace it with things like canola oil, which is GMO. It comes from the rapeseed. Rapeseed, look it up. It's toxic. It's poisonous. The vegetable oils, they're made from genetically modified corn. If you're buying corn oil, soy oil, that's another heavy GMO crop. And more than 90% of the soybeans are GMO. So they're genetically modified. They're altered. They're no longer in their natural state. The same with the wheat, the corn, rye, soybeans. So the thing is that coconut oil and also palm oil have a really high, heat threshold. So they work very well if if you're using, if you fry something once in a while. Fried foods are not something that I advocate that is in your diet, but it's the things that you do the majority of the time that count. So if once in a while you're going to have something that's fried, that's perfectly fine. The coconut oil and palm oil, they have a high smoking point, and so they actually work better than preparing foods in a high temperature than using, say, olive oil. But coconut oil, really, when you break it down and you analyze it, it's probably one of the most versatile health foods on the planet. And not only is it excellent for cooking, but coconut oil uses, they're countless, and everyone can use them, from deodorants to toothpaste to body lotion. Weight loss aid, coconut oil, uniquely, it contains 3 fatty acids, and that's lauric acid, capric acid, and caprylic acid. And those are really very rare. They're very rare to, occurring in nature. They are medium chain fatty acids, and they have a tremendous health benefit. And the other thing is, they're easy to burn as fuel in the body. And the other thing is they have a high microbial properties. So they help with the good gut flora. And as we get into the holiday season and everybody's eating cookies and fudge and rum balls and, chocolate this and chocolate that, you're better off to take that chocolate and say to a 8-ounce bar of chocolate. So it would be, 4 ounces of coconut oil the coconut oil, and take 8 ounces of chocolate and melt that in a double boiler and use that for chocolate fondues. Use coconut oil in place of things like lard and Crisco. Crisco oil. It's like, yikes. They become rancid very, very easily. These types of oils, canola oil and soy oil. The Crisco oil.
Rancid.
Oh yeah, they smell really nasty.